Hello, grade 10 students. Let's get started for our speaking lesson today. I need you all to prepare your student books, page 79. Let's begin. The objectives of the day are: identify the key information of a prompt to express opinion about a certain topic, implement ideas to express opinion about the pros and cons of a new facility in school, demonstrate ability to form ideas and justifications about a certain topic. Let's begin. Before we get started, I want you to take a look on the facilities we have here and ask yourself a question. Which of the following facilities you wish you had in your school? Maybe an outdoor cafeteria, perhaps a bookstore that you can actually buy books or stationery, an indoor swimming pool that you can release your stress during your breaks, or a famous grocery store that you can enjoy shopping during your breaks. Pause and think about it. Let's look at page 79. We will be discussing the prompt and we will be talking about the sentences or the phrases we have in this box and this box. Let's see. Let's read the prompt together. Imagine your school is planning on expanding its facilities. Behind the school is an area of open ground which will be turned into one of the two options shown below. Let's look at the two options: a cafeteria with an outdoor patio or an indoor swimming pool. So, think about it. You are on the advisory committee and have been asked to give your opinion. So you are part of the decision making in this committee in the school. You can tell which facility is to be built in your school. First, you will discuss the advantages and the disadvantages of each option using the ideas in the box and the words given. Then decide which option would appeal most to your fellow students. Use some of the phrases given in the speaking activities on page 137. So make sure that you open your books on page 137 because we will be using it. Let's check what we will be talking about. The first point, the cost needed to build and maintain. How appealing it is to students. What students can do there. How the weather affects it, and how it can improve students' lives. Pause and think of the meaning of the underlined terms. Let's check how much you know. The first, the cost needed to build and maintain. What do we mean by that? We mean how much money do we need to spend on building or maintaining the facility that you will be talking about. The second point, how appealing it is to students. What do we mean by that? Whether they will like it or not. What students can do there. What do we mean by that? The activities that they can actually do in the facilities that will be built in the school. How the weather affects it. The weather factors, yes. And finally, how it can improve students' life. Is it going to be for the best or is it going to keep the daily routine, which is somehow boring to some students? Let's look at page 137. We will be using the remarks or the sentences we have here in order for us to form full sentences. By implementing these words together with these sentences, and let's see what we can do. We will be talking about how to open a discussion, how to support one's opinion, and how to express contrast, which is the opposite. So we will be using these words and these sentences put them together, expanded into full sentences. The first point, we will begin by opening a discussion remarks. So we will be using these sentences, combining them with this phrase in order for us to have a full sentence. Let's start by looking at the sentences we have here. We can say, to begin with, first, we need to discuss something. Let's start by talking or thinking about the important thing here is, and finally, the main thing we need to discuss is, as you can see. Now, we will be using this phrase, pay for maintenance. What does it mean? It means the money that you need to pay in order for you to have a new facility at school. So, how about we pause the video for a minute, try to choose one of these sentences, combine them together, expand it into a sentence using your own words, and let's see what you can come up with. Pause and work on it. Now let's brainstorm. We can start by saying, to begin with, we need to make a financial plan to pay for the maintenance of the new facility. As you can see here, we used a new term which is financial plan or a budget plan to pay for the maintenance of the new facility. Or we can say, first, we need to discuss how to pay for the maintenance of the new facility. This is another simpler way. Maybe we can also say, let's start by talking or thinking about how to pay for maintenance of the new facility. Any related sentence to the following three we have here is suitable and correct. Let's move on to the second point. We are going to discuss how to support your opinion. And we will be using these words from this box in order for us to put them together and have full sentence. Now let's look at the phrases that we need to use. We can say, I believe, for example, having an outdoor cafeteria is a good idea because, and you will be using words from this box. Or you can say, there are several reasons why I believe this. The first is, for example, it is enjoyable. Or use any of the terms you have in this box. It also would provide the students with, for example, an escape from routine, and so on. Some students may find this, for example, appealing, as they are not interested in, for example, doing physical activities. The reason I think having an outdoor cafeteria is more appealing to students is because, and use one of the words in the box. I think that you got the idea. So I'm going to give you some time. I need you to pause the video for 2 minutes and try to put together these sentences and use the words we have in the box. Before we start, let's discuss the meaning of the words. I want you to look at the words, pause the video for a minute, and try to figure out their meanings. Let's check your understanding. The first word, appealing or unappealing, it means whether students will like it or not like it. Socialize, what does it mean? To blend in with other students from your school and enjoy time together. Enjoyable, what does it mean? Having fun, well done. Relax, releasing your stress. Energizing, what does that mean? To feel activated and motivated. Beneficial, It's another word for advantages. Well done. And escaping from routine, it means to do something new out of the box. Now it's your turn. Use the words and use the sentences we have here, and let's see what you can come up with. Let's check your sentences. We may say, I believe having a cafeteria with an outdoor patio is a good idea and would be appealing for students to socialize and relax to escape from the daily routine. You see how many words we implemented here? We do not necessarily have to use all the words in the box. All you have to do is to make a full comprehended sentence. Another suggestion, we can say, there are several reasons why I believe this. The first reason is that it would be enjoyable time for students to relax and feel energized to continue their classes. Or we can say some students may find it beneficial as they are not interested in doing physical activities. Try your best to implement words from this box and put it together with the sentences we have here. Try to do something different from the suggestions we have here, and any related sentence to these is correct. The third point, we will be talking about expressing contrast, and we will be using these two phrases. Expressing contrast, we will be using on the other hand, however, very true, but, you may be right, but, and so on. So, how about you try to put together these sentences with these phrases and try to figure it out. For example, we can say, on the other hand, it depends on the weather, and so on. This is your hint. Pause the video for 1 minute and try to write a comprehended sentence using these sentences and these phrases. Now let's brainstorm your answers. We can say, on the other hand, it depends on the weather, and most of the year it is hot and sunny in Qatar, which will be hard for students to enjoy their meals in the outdoors. This is one. Another point we can say, however, spending the break sitting without doing any physical activity might have a negative effect on students, such as staying in a healthy shape. So, you can use these phrases and rewrite them in your own style. Any related sentence to these two is suitable and correct. The fourth point, we will be talking about expressing disadvantages, and we will be using these two boxes. There are many disadvantages to having an outdoor cafeteria. There are negative aspects to building an outdoor cafeteria. One major disadvantage is, for example, the weather dependent. Try to put the sentences we have here together and let's figure out what you can do. Let's check the sentences. We can say, there are many disadvantages to building an outdoor cafeteria, such as the budget needed to pay for the maintenance, which will cost a lot. Or we can say, one major disadvantage is the weather factor, which will be difficult to enjoy having a meal in an outdoor cafeteria, especially in the hot climate of Qatar. Or we can say, the drawbacks of having an outdoor cafeteria are a lot to consider. One of them is how students will not be doing any physical activities, which will not help them stay in healthy shape. Any related sentence to these is correct and suitable. Now it is your turn. talk about the following facility implementing the method you just learned. So you will be talking about an indoor swimming pool, implementing all the ideas that we discussed previously in our lesson. And then you can share your ideas or your thoughts with your teacher or your classmates on Teams. This is it for the day. Thank you.